right in the front was a table of frat guys. Literally, on my mic, they were pulling the cord
of your mic?
off my mic.
No!
What the hell?
Yeah, I felt like, fishing.
Yeah.
And nobody at Harris, nobody did anything.
No, because
I was
these
like,
are probably high
guys, can
rollers.
you cut it out?
This is not a tug of war. This is me
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
comedy.
And then chanting, reefer. Oh, my God.
Reefer for Leifer.
Which is not a bad chant. But, all right.
That's from merch.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
Men, if ED is getting you down, you need Hims to help get your confidence and other things back up. Hims provides access to treatments that can help you stay hard and last longer, so you can be ready whenever the mood strikes.
So start your free online visit today at hims.com/DPT.
That's HIMS.com/DPT for your personalized ED treatment options. HIMS.com/DPT.
Hey, Toddies, welcome to another episode of Dumb People Town. Population you.
Population Leifer.
Carol Leifer, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So happy to have you on.
Thank you, Sklar brothers.
Hi.
Thank you so much. Now, which one of you did I run into at the Ojai Valley Inn?
Oh, at the Ojai Valley Inn? Me. That was years ago. I've run into you everywhere. Jason doesn't run into you on the board.
Yes,
Dan
I
Van
did.
Kirk doesn't run into you anywhere.
I know.
What is his problem?
I'm
He
trying.
does run into you.
trying.
Dan has been trying to run into you for so long, and
I
now
know.
it's happening.
You have to get my schedule.
I'm an Ojai Mountain Inn kind of guy.
Are you?
Nah,
I'm an
stay away
Ojai
from the
Rancho
valley.
Inn. Oh, you like the
I'm Ojai Valley, and I love the Ojai Valley.
That's a nice place up
Yes.
there.
Yeah, it's a wonderful
absolutely.
place.
It is great.
Well, here's the two wonderful things. One, you have a new book out.
I
We're going to
do.
talk about that. We'll
Okay.
get to that. Stop talking about it,
Why are
Carol.
we making
All
a big deal
right,
of it?
all
We're
right.
Carol,
I
let's
got
just
it.
cut it out. But then we also have like these dumb news stories that happen in the world. People are dumb. They're getting dumber.
I know that. I'm a
need-
comedian. I see it every night
Right?
with audiences. Yes.
You understand. And you are one of the best comedians ever to do it. And you've been
Oh.
in incredible writers' rooms. So you understand what we're about to do here.
I do. But finish your thought.
Keep going. Don't stop.
Keep going.
One of the greats, the all-time greats.
All right, you want to do a story one?
Let's do
let's
story
jump into
one.
Okay, I have it first.
Okay.
This was sent in by Matthew Friedman at Not Your Average Matt,
Thanks,
AVG
buddy.
Matt.
Our listeners send in stories.
Here's the headline.
They do.
That's so sweet.
Okay.
Mount Gambier, Gambier.
Mount Gambier.
Mount Gambier magistrate finds what couple did during police pursuit extraordinary.
So is
Yeah,
it wrong?
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
is there something wrong with
It's
it? or
definitely
just-
sexual.
Are
I
they
don't know what it is.
impressed? They're impressed by it.
A South Australian magistrate has described a decision by a couple to have sex during a police pursuit as extraordinary.
I mean, it's a pursuit on all fronts at this point.
I mean, do you think there was like we're not going to see each other for a long time when this is over?
I think that's a very good theory. That's right. What we're doing is really fucked up. I can't say fucked.
Yeah, you
yes,
can.
of
And
course.
yeah, men and women's prisons don't have a dance together.
Right.
Okay,
Yes,
not
yes.
anymore. They
Right.
don't anymore.
No.
Which, why don't
This
they?
will be our first conjugal visit.
so to speak.
Early,
We're going
like
to do
a
a
pre-conj-
pre-conjugal.
Yes. But you can, be sure there was no condom involved.
No.
Yeah, no. This
They're
is
on
like,
a police pursuit. They don't care about
And
safety
maybe,
on any level.
Carol, that might have been the most outrageous and extraordinary part.
I know. I guess I'm
that they just-
thinking, yes.
It would be hilarious if he did stop to get condoms in the police pursuit to then
Yes.
have sex while driving the
It's
car.
like, what? I don't want to.
Safe
I don't want to
sex.
hurt anybody. I mean, but that is so. Not to think about logistics, but I'm assuming he's driving and she reverses on. I mean, I can't even.
You'd have to
sit
right?
on his lap.
Right.
Yes.
Who's driving?
Joshua James Childs.
Joshua James.
He's about to make
Joshua
a few
James
childs.
Childs. JJC.
This is how you make a new child.
Yeah. Was sentenced in the Mount Gambier Magistrates Court on Monday, charged with aggravated escape police pursuit and an assault the year prior.
Yeah.
So you think he had the one? They're like,
Wow.
we'll get you for that next time you come in. Don't worry about that
You
now.
don't want to be on a "we'll get you next time."
Two completely
with
different
the
things.
police.
aggravated assault
From a
and
year earlier.
aggravated sex.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
all aggravated.
That can't be
Who's
comfortable
aggravated?
for
Is
the
she-
woman.
I wonder
is
if
she
he's
aggravated? He's
or
not
is he-
performing.
I
up
wonder
to-
if he didn't perform well and he was like, these cops are behind me. I'm trying to stay on the road. I have a lot on
What
my
if
mind
this is
right
the
now.
only way? It was like that movie Crash.
Crash,
right?
yeah.
This is the only way they can
Really
climax
Yes.
together.
Is like
This is
they
their
need to
thing.
be pursued by. He
cops.
says to her, "You know how it is when the cops are pursuing us and we're trying to have sex. It's like a
Well,
regular thing."
it could be that they just get off
I
on
know.
exciting shit like that.
Yes.
And then it's, But wouldn't it be crazy if she became pregnant?
Right.
And
That's
then
right.
it was like, honey, remember when we
Right.
conceived
Tell
the
me the
baby?"
story about Mom, Dad. Tell me the story again.
Or how funny would it be if he's like, remember when we were in the car and we were having sex in the car and she's like,
which
the police were following us and she's like,
Where were we? Where were we going? Where were we going?
we were going down Main Street and
you were just wearing a shirt. You gotta be,
a little more specific.
Remember we were driving by that Mexican place? I said, look at that Mexican place. And you said, oh. You don't remember this?
No,
I just have to say, though,
Say
I mean,
anything.
living in Los Angeles,
Yes.
hearing about a million different pursuits, that really has to be. I just saw yesterday a guy took a guy's tow truck. He just got in it. And
just
then
took
not
it away.
only was the guy hung on to the back, the tow truck driver,
no.
but the guy who was driving, he was like drinking the guy's big gulp,
Drinking his
calling
drink.
a friend. You know, he was like, dude, I'm in a
He's
car.
on with dispatch. He's like, we're going to be a while.
What else you got for
Wait,
me
is
this
he
afternoon?
using his Bluetooth? That's so uncool.
I paired my phone with your car.
You did what? With my tow truck.
I made it
But
the
drinking
default.
the drink is so...
drinking the drink.
That's wild.
That's
Yeah.
disrespectful.
You know, you're thirsty.
Was
It's a
his
big gulp.
was the person who stole the tow truck, was his car attached to the back, or he just walked up and took a tow
No,
truck?
the guy was getting out to get a car, and he went in.
Stole it. So the
Yeah.
tow truck operator is like hanging on the back. For
He's
dear
hanging
life.
on the back.
Oh my god.
He's being
Yeah,
towed.
but he's not. But nobody's having sex in the car.
No,
Nobody's
that's
having
a
sex.
first.
This is
Yeah.
like insane
Child.
compared to that.
Which, by the way, if you're having sex with someone, you should have a flatbed. Like that's what you need is a flatbed to have sex on.
Childs was sentenced for more than 9 months of home detention for the 2 incidents,
Just enough time to have a baby.
Yeah,
Yes.
home detention.
including the high-speed police chase in which he had sex with a passenger. While the charges were related to 2 separate incidents, Childs was cumulatively sentenced. I have never in my time as a magistrate heard that whilst somebody was engaged in a police pursuit, they also engaged in sexual intercourse, Magistrate Kula Kasiavelos said. The court heard how police attempted to stop Childs twice while he was speeding along the Prince's Highway in September with a female passenger also in the vehicle. The court heard that Childs evaded police before officers spotted the car a 3rd time and deployed road spikes, puncturing 3 of the vehicle's tires.
oh my
See, this is what happens when you have a kink.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
This is the problem.
Right, you start
Yes.
to ruin
You
tires.
You can't control what your kink is going to be.
Can't. You
Childs,
can't.
it is what
You
it
have to
is.
Act upon it.
You have to act. Yeah, you have to.
Childs continued to evade police. This is after they rip out 3 of his tires, driving while the rubber from his tires began delaminating from his vehicle.
Right, when you're
So there was
just
a rubber.
driving on the rims.
So there was a rubber.
Yeah. And it was being taken off.
By the
Wasn't
road.
used
being
properly.
delaminated.
Yes.
There you go.
I've never even heard of that, being delaminated.
Tires were raw dogging it.
Wild.
He continued driving with metal rims gouging into the road's surface. A second set of road spikes were deployed, deflating the last of the vehicle's tires, yet Childs continued to evade police.
Hang on, sidebar. You did the Tonight Show with Carson. Did you
Yes, I
not?
did.
I mean, did he waved you over?
I did get waved.
You got
over.
waved
I
over.
did. I did.
What did he say to you?
Here's what's crazy.
Okay.
Okay. I was dreaming about this for a long time. He waves me over, and then they took a commercial break. And you know, he used to tap his pencil.
Yeah.
Well, next to it, it was like maniacal. It was like crazy, like the, you know what I mean? Like it was really intense. And I was doing a joke at the time. I don't have any kids. Well, at least none that I know about.
Great joke.
Phenomenal joke.
Thank you.
Like a Hall of Fame, put it in a museum joke.
Great joke.
And Johnny, during the break, said to me, "That was a good switch there on that joke. Good switch."
That's great.
Yeah.
Switch. It's good switch.
awesome.
And then you came back and did he say you're amazing? This was and have a little combo with you?
We had a little combo.
Did he tee you up for any more jokes? Did you drop any more in the
I
conversation?
did. I did drop a few more.
Of course you
That's
did.
awesome.
So you have to prep. I mean, back in the day, you had to prep for if he calls you over. I
If
need
he
to leave a
calls you
little in the
over,
tank.
Yes. And
to
then
be
if
able-
you're not called over, you leave really
Tail
depressed.
between the legs and walk
Yeah.
out.
And you leave and you'll do anything like have sex in a car.
Right.
Uh-huh.
While
Isn't
you're
that great?
being
That's like
chased.
it's such a like emblematic of like our careers because everybody dreamt or dreams. You know, then it sort of became Letterman and Conan for a while too. But like dreams of getting Carson.
Yeah.
You get it, and now you're like, I hope
I get called
like,
over.
You keep moving your own goalpost to just
That's right.
not be happy.
Right. No, it's literally the rubber meets the road, though, because if you're not on the show, then you can still assume that you will get called over. But then once you do it, you find out
Yeah,
if
did I
you get
called
called
over?
over or not.
Yeah.
And you're like, why didn't he call me over? Did he not like what I did? He liked the switch up. Did you find and see like a crazy weird bump after it, like when you were walking on like the streets, or no? Like
Yes,
people were like,
for clubs. I mean, I don't think, comics of this generation understand what
they
the
can't.
Tonight Show was.
I think they do. I'm actually going to
Really?
argue.
Yeah?
I think if you have like 2 or 3 great sets on Kill Tony today, which is a podcast and it's a show, I think it can reshape.
absolutely,
Right.
but
But
that's
nothing like the
nothing
Carson.
like
No.
Carson. I mean,
Yeah.
nothing like doing it and then walking down the street and
It
people
was
like,
like
I saw
30
you on
million
that.
people a night.
Yeah, no, it's true. It really bumped it up. But that's true about podcasts. When I did Mark Maron's podcast, I said to him, this is kind of like the equivalent of...
Yeah, it's a little bit
And
of
I-
like
I
sure he
introduction
did.
to
You,
a
the
lot of
Sklar
people.
I'm
brothers.
sure
It's
Mark
equivalent.
appreciated that and was really kind to you. Okay, so let's continue on.
Okay.
Okay, so
No,
remember,
we love Mark.
So
You
remember-
gotta give him shit. You gotta give him shit.
they see him twice. They finally see him a third time.
Right.
They rip out 3 of his tires. Then they see him a 4th time, rip out the 4th tire. He continues to drive, metal rims gouging into the road surface. He's
driving.
During sentencing remarks, Magistrate Cassiavelos said that what happens next was extraordinary. With all tires punctured and still traveling at a dangerous speed, police witnessed the vehicle's female passenger climb over and straddle child.
That's what I said.
This didn't happen till after 4 or 5 times of seeing the cops and multiple strips that they were like, well, at this point.
Tires got penetrated. Somebody else has to get
Right,
penetrated.
so was she facing forward?
No, I think she's probably
Facing him.
She's probably rear view mirroring.
He's
it.
like, babe, I can't see, babe.
right.
It's
She's
not-
like, I'm
babe."
looking backwards for you, blocking the
Let
driver's
me
view.
be your rear view mirror.
The female began moving in an up and down motion, appearing to engage in sexual intercourse.
Oh
How fast do you think they were going? I got it in miles per hour for
Okay.
you. How fast do you think
on rims.
they were
of
going on
tires.
4 rims while having sex, being chased by police?
75 miles an hour.
I'll go 65.
Okay.
I'm going to go 80 miles an hour.
31 miles an
That's
hour.
it.
Well, that's
sort of a stroll.
Yeah,
Very
it's-
dangerous, but sort of a
Low
stroll.
speed.
It's sort of a rim speed
Yeah, it's
when you
right.
think about it.
It's a rim job. I mean,
Right.
Let's be honest.
Also, rim speed. Rim speed may be the title of this episode.
Rim speed.
Rim speed. Childs was sentenced to 7 months in prison to be served by way of home detention. On the second charge of assault, the calls Sklars might identify with this. On the second charge of assault, the court also heard that a year before the police chase, Childs knocked a man off his bike aggressively while the victim was dropping their child off at their primary school. So he got mad in the
Christ.
drop-off
Yeah,
got
He's got a lot of problems.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got a lot of
Oh,
issues.
but you get behind people in the drop-off area. You remember those years, many years ago, and you're like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Like we're all not here. Your kid's already in your car. So
I
this is not the time
still-
for you to scroll through emails.
I
Get
still
out.
drop my daughter off at she's a senior.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we have like 2 more months of doing this and then it's all over because she doesn't drive. But like drop her off at Eagle Rock High School and there's like a little circle we drop off at. And there are like every single time we're always late. We're always like literally pushing with like 1 minute and they're going to
Yeah.
close the gate. And invariably like some kid in front of us opens up the door and then pops the trunk to like pull out a project. I'm like, who we
You're
don't
gonna
need
get
this-
a C.
You're
It looks
by
like
the
shit
looks of it.
anyway.
What are you, 8? You're a high schooler. That project looks
It's
terrible.
a
Like, we get-
solar system.
we
Get out of
we
here.
get so mad
Yeah.
with these people who are like, come on.
Well,
be
Childs
ready.
chased the victim onto the school grounds and then punched him. He was sentenced to 2 months imprisonment to be served cumulatively via the home detention. We'll get out of story 1 on this.
But don't you think prison is a bad idea? Because anytime they transfer them
Yeah.
in any kind of vehicle,
Yes.
he's going to...
Try and have sex
Sex
in the
Yes,
vehicle. Yes.
yes.
This guy can't do any. Yeah, like we don't want any.
No,
what do you-
nothing moving
not allowed
on
to-
tires or rims.
I get turned
no.
on by the motion.
Yeah, what are you crying about, man? This ride just sort of takes me back. It reminds me. But if we go 31 miles an hour.
I've just remembered the old days.
Yeah.
That's so
Okay,
funny.
we'll
I
leave.
mean, I'm not gonna. Can I make the crass thing that I want to say?
I mean, we all have
At
steering
Come
wheels.
on,
31
it's
miles per
your
hour,
podcast.
1.21 gigawatts.
There you go.
Gigawatts.
That's
we're
back to the future.
Okay.
I would be using that in my real life. But as I am a lesbian,
I know. There's
That
no
will
way.
not-
There's no gigawatts.
that will not come up.
All right, last thing here. For fun. How old
Leifer.
is Joshua James Child. How old is a man going 31 miles an hour multiple times
On
evading
rims,
police,
on
gets
rims.
blown out spikes, keeps going, gets blown out spikes again, keeps going, and then decides, baby,
Now it's time.
this is
to
our
get
last
down.
run.
What do you think, Jay?
I think there's a guy who's young, like 29 years old. Like
Yeah.
he's not worried about getting an erection.
Carol's
he doesn't need to like
nodding.
pre-plan with a Cialis pill. Like he doesn't
Blue
have
Chew.
to. He doesn't need Blue Chew. He's just like, you ready to go? I'm ready to go.
No hymns for him.
I'm going
Right.
to go with 25.
25. I'm gonna go with. Let's go the age of Jesus. 33.
Okay.
Let's do it.
One of you is only 1 year off, so you all have the option to go up a year or down a year that you have
Okay.
selected.
I'll go
28.
34.
Okay.
Where are you going? Up or
24.
down?
Okay. Joshua, James, Childs, and when we come back,
We're gonna find out about Leifer's book.
yes,
To come back.
I'll tell you what I have going on.
No
We'll take a quick
flipping.
little break. Joshua James Childs is 28 years old.
Very nice. All right, we'll take a break. Carol Leifer is with us, one of the greats, one of the all-time greats. We're gonna talk about her new book.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Before we get into Leifer's book,
Yeah.
we were talking about where did this thing take place. So it took place in Australia, and the only way you know that is that it took place in the bush. Okay, so deep in the bush.
All right, before we get to Leifer's book, because we want to give lots of time. Dan, let
Oh
people
yeah,
know
for
where
sure.
you can go.
DanielVanKirk.com. You can check out my podcast, this one, which is one of the best and all-time favorites ever, but also the Midnight Air every single Monday night on All Things Comedy. And then you can come see me in Milwaukee, in Janesville, in Bloomington, Indiana, at the Limestone Comedy Festival. I'll be
Amazing.
headlining out there. Planet the Tapes in Louisville. There's so many great things. All these dates, everything's up at DanielVanKirk.com.
Okay.
So
That
Carol,
was a very good spiel.
right?
I
It was
like
good.
how you did that.
Yeah.
This is not your first rodeo. This is not your first book. I've read your previous book is amazing too. So I would encourage people start here.
Thank you.
Work your way back.
Yeah.
But hold it up so
Yes.
these damn people can see it.
You hold it. Okay, this is how to write a funny speech. Amazing. People are so desperate to
For
know.
a
wedding,
wedding, bar
bar
mitzvah,
mitzvah.
graduation, and every other event you didn't want to go to in the first place.
So great.
People are always like, "What?" They're terrified of
People
this.
no one
are
is-
terrified.
And nobody's funny.
Yeah.
And nobody's funny.
Have you seen the Supercut TikTok that went viral?
No.
Of it, it's literally probably 100 people at weddings or retirement parties or whatever, and it's just every single one of them going, for those of you who don't know me, 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 some of you probably don't know me, and it's just a boom, boom, boom,
I'm
boom,
gonna
boom, boom,
connect
boom,
you,
boom.
and
Oh,
I want
that's
you to send that to her.
hysterical.
Yeah, I
please.
will.
And then
Yeah.
at the end of it,
Please.
So
you put up
funny.
your book and you be like, this book will save this
That's
Yeah.
right.
from happening again.
Oh my God, definitely have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because how many events have you been to where somebody gives a speech
Oh, man.
and it leaves a stink in the room, and then
'Cause
kind
normal
of
people don't
ruins
know
the
how to
event.
do it.
They don't know how to do it.
They need a blueprint, they need a guideline, and they're so afraid of it. And whenever you get called to do it, like all your normal friends,
Yes.
like whenever you've done speeches for your normal friends, weddings, bar mitzvahs, birthdays, whatever, you always just crush the room. Am
Well,
I right?
any comedian that
Yeah.
gets up
Yeah.
there knows what to do because to us, a set every night is like a speech.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
So you pretty much
Tight.
audiences.
You keep it tight.
You keep
lots
it tight.
of jokes.
Yes.
And you get to the point and you get out of there.
But I think the one
Right.
thing a lot of people like too is reading a room and knowing their audience. Like
Yes.
anytime someone says to me, like if they're the best man and they're like, "Well, I think I'm going to do something sort of funny." I'm like, "Don't,
Do not.
just go sincere. You'll never regret
That's
sincere."
true.
Be
But
like, have you ever ridden a
The
motorcycle?
floor on sincere is much higher than
But
the
if you have this
floor
book-
on-
But if you
Have
have
this
this
book.
book,
this is what I'm saying.
Rick Mitchell and I, my co-writer, who's won 5 Emmys, and I've won one, you learn how to incorporate funny things
Sure.
into your speech. We
the
walk
right
you
way.
through it.
Yeah.
Yes, in the right
so
way.
great. First of all, I love the way it looks, and it's just
Good.
like a
Thank
simple. Putting. I love the color. It's gorgeous. And look at this. In the middle, I open up to the middle, which says the end. Which you think, dummies will think that's the end of the book, and you're like, why is there such?
No,
a
because it means
no. You're
end
talking
your
about how to
speech.
end your
Right,
speech.
right. Beginning, middle, and end.
I
Yes.
love it. Good
now,
for
the other
you.
thing that people try a lot now is AI to write
Sure,
speeches.
that's like the way to like.
That's the worst,
Worst.
thing
Worst.
possible because we took elements. I wrote a speech for a friend's daughter for her wedding, and we took the elements that I took
Yeah.
and put it into AI, and it was horrific.
It ruined
Did you then at the wedding read the AI speech to be like, this is how bad this was?
No.
You could do that as a bit.
You could do
That
it
can be
as
a
a
bit.
bit, but as I we talk about in the book. You got to keep it 5
Tight.
minutes
5
and
minutes
under.
under.
That's it. So if I had said, if the mother of the bride said, "Listen, we put it in AI," people would be like, "Oh, enough already.
No more.
We heard your great speech."
Can I ask an ignorant question? We know at a wedding, it's traditionally maid of honor,
Best man, maybe
the
father of the bride.
Yeah, father of the bride. The night before is usually the bride and groom say something at the rehearsal. No, that's a speech that a lot of people forget they need to do.
Yes.
At a bar or bat mitzvah, who's giving speeches?
Parents usually give speech, and sometimes the
I
best
did.
friends
Yeah,
are the
we
kids.
did. We all
And the
did
kid
first.
gives a speech, right?
Kid.
But if you've got a Carol Leifer in your life, you're like, Carol, the kid. Will you get up and say a few funny things? Like,
Yeah.
if you have somebody, but even those speeches, but even like speeches to your company, speeches to like that's people are terrified of,
and they're terrible at it.
Can I see the
Yes,
book?
Yes.
absolutely.
This is so cool. I love it. People can get it everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Anywhere you get a
Love
book.
this.
Is it in stores too? Like, or is it going to be like? Because I could see this like in a store that
Yes.
not a bookstore, but
Yeah.
like at the front of
Oh,
the
like
Yeah,
at like
it's
OK.
everywhere.
Do you know that store OK? That's a really cute.
No.
Yeah.
Is that-
great little place in Silver Lake. But
Really?
Yeah, I could just see.
Oh, the
this thing.
forward's
look
just by
into
Carol
that.
Burnett.
Oh,
The forward's just by Carol
was that,
Burnett.
was that a
all?
hard ask? Was that a hard ask or no?
Here's what's crazy. It was actually an easy ask because she's such a lovely person.
That's all I've heard about her.
That's it literally gave it to her Friday of a Memorial Day weekend. Take your time, Carol. If you don't want to do it, I
you
understand.
give her every out.
Yes, it's a big favor.
a huge
Blah,
thing.
blah, blah. She reads it, and Sunday she gets back to me and says, "I'm happy to write the foreword.
Amazing.
for you.
Holy
I loved it."
Was
Yeah,
she?
yeah.
Is she? This is because I don't know her. I haven't spent any time with her. Is she just super, just funny in her bones? Meaning like, just you guys are just talking whatever, and she just will be funny without
is
like
just
trying
funny.
too hard. It's like in her bones.
Yes, and she tells the best stories,
Yeah.
and she has great
million.
stories from her life. She really, my wife and I have had dinner with her and her husband. I mean, they're like 3-hour dinners because she
Because she's
tells
just-
the
that's
best
great.
stories.
It's
You
so
don't
good.
want
The
it
great
to
thing about
end.
this book is everything about it feels easy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like picking it up and like look just the even like
Yeah,
going
it's
through the
not
parts
gonna
of it.
crush you.
And
No.
also,
It's well put
also even if
together.
you don't have a speech, it's immediately funny. Signs your speech is too long. You hear crying and it's not a baby. You get a standing ovation after you say in conclusion.
It's like when the plane lands and
Yeah.
everyone claps. It's
Yeah.
like part of that's a good thing, but if the flight was really shitty, it's like you're
Yes.
clapping to be
Oh
like, I
my
can't believe you did
God,
this.
that's
so
oh, these are
funny.
so
Yeah.
great.
It is like landing a plane, a
It
good
is.
speech.
Completely. And also, we made it short and sweet,
Yep.
for people.
Yeah.
Because the worst thing is to write a book about making speeches
And it's
it's
so-
a tome.
Yeah,
you
right,
know what
yeah.
I mean?
No,
You don't
this
want that.
mirrors the message of the book.
Yes, and even more than that, for people who are super lazy, which is a lot of people out there, we have templates where you just kind of fill in the blanks
Oh my God, this
of
is
what
so
to
helpful.
say. So we
Did you
really
read this book on tape? Is there a book on tape of this?
We haven't done it yet,
You-
but,
but
we
you
are.
have to do it.
Yeah.
You have to
It's
do
got to
it.
be your voice.
Absolutely.
Or the two of you, but probably you.
Yes,
I
no,
mean,
the two of us.
Yes, you have to.
Templates.
Here's a
It's
template.
perfect.
There you go.
Freaking love this.
I love
Mad
this book.
libs.
This is
Okay,
great.
so
Fill in
how
the
to-
blanks.
How to write a funny speech. That's just
Yes.
that's wonderful by
Go
Carol
get
Leifer.
this book. It'll make your
Yeah.
life better.
Will make your
What
life
a wonderful
so much better.
By the way, I know it's a couple months away, but Father's Day, Mother's Day coming up. Like these are
there
it's a
you
wonderful
go.
gift to like give to people.
That's
And
right.
Put it on the wide shot.
And it's
Look at that.
$16.95. Come on.
$16.95. It's less. I mean,
It's like a
It's
tiny
3.5
bag.
lattes.
Tiny bag of cocaine, guys.
that's it. Just
$16.95.
a-
It's not hard.
I mean, you're still buying cocaine, so it's like what, like a half gram, half a gram.
No, I get the good stuff.
It's
I
a
don't
bump
know.
and a half.
Yeah.
Just get the
A bump and a
book.
half of the book.
You want confidence? You don't need cocaine. Get this book.
All right,
That's right.
We'll talk about this more later, but I'm going to jump into another
do it.
story.
Yay,
Shall we
let's
do
do it.
this?
Yes.
Do you feel serviced by the book? We love this.
I do
Okay,
feel
good.
service, not as service
As
Not
the
as
first
story
woman-
number one.
Not an
Middle of a-
Australian police pursuit.
right.
We didn't have police chasing us.
That's going to
All
be
right.
a sex term, an Australian car chase.
I gave her an
I gave her
Australian card.
yeah.
She
That's
gave
right.
him an Australian card. All right, so sent in by NES Jumpman, our good friend.
Yeah, been around a long time.
Up in
So great.
Madison, Wisconsin.
All right, you ready for this?
Yep.
And you will love this. As all of us are stand-up comedians, I am so excited that we are getting to do this story with Carol Leifer. You ready?
Lay it on me.
Here is and it is a debate. Like, we're all going to have this debate here. But here we go. Top UK comedy club bans audience members with botox after numerous complaints. Why do you think that? All right. Why
that
do you
again.
think
Say that
so?
one more
Top UK comedy club bans
Yeah.
audience members with Botox after numerous complaints.
Just what? 'Cause
Why do you
stoic-
think?
Just Brody Stevens stoic faces, bad energy.
Can't
They can't.
Can't read their expressions.
right. You can't move your face.
Right. So, okay, one of the UK's leading comedy clubs has banned guests with Botox in a move that is no laughing matter. Who wrote this? New York Post.
Come on.
For those with reactionless faces. So if you're a comic and you're getting nothing from them, but they really are wanting to
Yeah,
react, but
yeah.
their face is just
But
unreactive.
Yeah.
they could be like borderline ventriloquist.
Okay, you ready for this?
Like, ha, ha, ha,
But that's the thing. Does it really matter their face?
I don't
what
see
if
a lot
you
of
can't
faces.
move the face, but you're a fantastic, ha ha ha,
Right.
one of those
I
great
know.
laughs.
But I mean, all right. So, Top Secret Comedy Club, which that girl was, that
she
woman
was telling us we got to go do it. It's where Aziz drops in a lot.
Has hosted some of the biggest names in comedy: Jack Whitehall, Amy Schumer, Dave Chappelle, maybe the Sklar brothers at one point, gracing the stage in Drury Lane and Kingsway clubs. In a drastic move, with those with Botox will be unable to see similar stars live in London. Like, how do you tell? It just they come in and you're just like, you got to give them a face check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine you're the door?
Give me two
person?
reactions. Give me shocked.
And if they're just like,
Give me thrilled. All right, you can't
Perfect.
come in. You're not
I
coming
can't come in.
You're not coming in.
All right, so
right
that's
at the
it.
door. They just
Just
decide.
there's a ticket taker.
Yeah.
Remember Mario Joyner's old bit?
No.
Oh my God, he's the guy who that was such a great joke about being he was a ticket taker and he went for he wanted to be a ticket taker at a movie theater and he went for an interview and he just like walked in and ripped up his resume. He's like, I believe my work speaks for itself. So now you need a person to check the face and a person to like
Right.
see
Judge.
people. That's like an extra. I don't
Check the
understand
face.
this.
Check
Yeah.
the face was my favorite Pete Townsend song.
Right. Okay. So shared concerns that audience members with frozen faces aren't reacting to their jokes. Botox is a type of injectable.
All right,
we don't need to
shut
get into
up.
This Who is the rise of tweakments, particularly among 20-somethings, has risen sharply in recent years, with an estimated how many Botox injections carried out each year in the UK. What do you think? How many injections do you think they
year?
do in the UK? Remember, it's a smaller country than the United States.
Well, and they are not as attractive.
right.
people.
Exactly. So they might need this.
Let's
but what do you?
be
Well, they don't have
honest.
smile lines.
No, they don't.
I'm gonna go
Approximately how many?
20,000.
20,000. What do you think?
50,000.
What do you think?
A million.
Okay, one of
I
you.
thought that number too.
One of you is exactly right. Do you
I'm
want
staying. I'm staying.
Are you going to jump to a million, or are you going to stay where you're at?
Randy, did you give it away?
No, he doesn't
Doesn't give
it
anything away.
I'll stay. I'll
Okay,
stay,
you'll stay.
but I don't
All right.
love it.
You have a chance to move
No,
if you don't love
I'll
it.
stay, I'll stay.
Okay, get your answers in, townies, because an estimated 1 million.
Leifer,
Get her
knew
book.
I knew
Get
it.
the book.
How to write
Yeah.
a funny speech and win games on podcasts.
That's right. Mark.
But you know that is true that
Yeah.
women much younger are getting
Starting to
these
get 'em.
procedures. I swear to God, I know a woman who's 25 who got a brow lift.
No.
And I asked her, I was like, why? And she was
Why?
like, I look tired. I'm like,
No.
take a nap.
Yeah,
bitch.
exactly. Sleep. Sleep.
Nap.
Take a nap.
Mark Rothman, the Top Secret Comedy Club owner, we should get in touch with him, Jay.
Please.
Claimed the eyebrow-raising decision. Stop
Yeah,
it.
no, I love this.
To ban guests up to their eyeballs in Botox was the last resort to prevent losing talent who perform at the club. So apparently,
Somebody complained.
or enough high-level talent was like, I'm not going to do this anymore if they were just right. I mean, are they just doing so much crowd work that they're not getting the
Yeah.
reaction? Our incredibly talented comedians are fed up with performing in front of reactionless faces, he said. And I mean, that's a little bit like a club owner. I understand a club owner being like a comics club owner and whatnot.
I
and
just have a hard time believing this is really a thing.
they
I
say
don't know.
As comics
They
in
say-
LA,
I
I
can't see
feel like
anyone's
we would see it
faces.
the most here.
But
if that was
I don't see a lot of
I don't
faces
see a
when
lot
I'm
of faces.
So
performing.
this is what he says,
No.
which I kind of now like. This guy said, comedy thrives on connection, and facial expressions play a huge part. We want people to laugh, cry, frown, sneer, but frozen faces from Botox impacts the entire atmosphere. We hope trialing this ban will help move the needle and get facial reactions back
Move the needle.
back into the room. I know.
But
for
did
the
they
benefit
get
of
this
our community.
complaint like in Alaska?
No.
You know, at Eskimo comedy
no,
clubs, the
no,
faces.
they don't do it in Inuit comedy clubs.
no, they.
And those are literally frozen faces.
I mean, they're
Exactly.
straight up
Yes.
frozen. Andrew Mensa, one of the venue's regular stand-up acts. Do you know Andrew Mensa? Do you know
Maybe.
him? Sounds
Smart
familiar.
guy.
He actually isn't. He's not on the level. I know. Performing to an audience with frozen faces can be incredibly tough. Comedy is a two-way street. We feed off the energy and reaction of the crowd.
True.
Mark and the team are always devising new ways to support us comedians, so this must be his best one yet. So the comics are reacting in a way where they love this. They feel like the owner is really stepping out there for him. Meanwhile, comedian Paul Chowdhury, who is set to perform at the club this month, said, "My face barely moves on the stage. I wouldn't want to see the same thing staring back at me." So he's like, "I'm now.
I get to be expressionless.
I'm holding the
not
audience."
you.
Remember John? What was the guy? John Mendoza.
Yeah.
Remember him?
He was very,
very expressionless.
Right,
Complete,
right.
like face didn't move at all. He was really funny.
I just don't buy that comics are so concerned
Upset
about this.
or
I mean, like,
sensitive
you know,
about it.
like in your green room, there's like a rotting banana and barely a Coke.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
But
so this
worried
is the
about
thing.
the
This is the worst
expression.
thing. The woman in table 9 isn't like
Also,
able to
as
smile.
a comedy club, do you want to stop people from coming in, or do you want people coming in?
I love that the guy's standing up for comics. Let me just say that. And that's not
Right,
just
so
because I want to get put.
if you're in a comedy
Yeah.
club, and people start talking, you want the comedy club to be like, "Get out of here. You are ruining it for everybody
Right,
else." And
right.
that's taking a stand for the comics that I fully believe in.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, or, you know, policing the room.
That's right.
policing the
You know, I
They
This is
think
an
this
extension
falls
of
under
police-
policing the room. You better be expressive or
I
else you're
worked
screwed.
at Harris once
Mm-hmm.
in Tahoe, and it was a New Year's night,
Mm.
and right in the front was a table of frat guys. Literally on my mic, they were pulling the
cord of your
off
mic?
my mic.
No!
hell?
Yeah, I felt like you know fishing,
Yeah.
and nobody
Oh.
at Harris, nobody did anything.
No, because
I was
these
like,
are probably high
guys, can
rollers.
you cut it out?
This is not a tug of war.
Yeah.
This is me
Help
doing
me out.
comedy.
And then chanting reefer, reefer. Oh my God.
Reefer
Yeah.
for Leifer.
Which is not a bad chant, but all right.
That's our merch.
March
That is
5th,
good merch.
from March
Carol
There you
Reefer.
go.
Carol
There you
Reefer,
go.
and it's just
Book and the
you
merch.
rolled up into a little joint, all right,
And your head
smoking,
popping out.
and it's smoking on the top.
Carol Reefer.
Carol Reefer, the Top Secret Comedy Club audience members.
Leifer madness.
What
Well,
am I for
doing?
madness?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Writing
We're
stuff.
just coming up with merch ideas for you.
Okay.
like
Members
that.
will be vetted by door staff, trained to carry out ID checks and expression tests. Can you imagine that?
This is just one of the managers
It's
at the
just
club. He just broke up with his
Like,
ex.
I got
she
an
gets
idea.
a lot of Botox. He's
right.
trying to prevent her from ever coming
Dude,
back
I
to the
said
club.
that. That's why Kanye hates the Jews, because Pete Davidson banged his ex-wife.
That's it.
That's
That's
all.
why.
A Jew took it to your wife.
Right, and so you don't
then
like-
you're mad now
no,
at the
you
rest
claim
of
that.
us. Chill out.
We're dead serious about the band, Rothman warned. You're surprised if you're surprised, we need to see that. We are looking for forward and welcoming faces, old and new, that can still move. That was one of our jokes.
When we did the
That's
Real
wild.
TV Awards,
We did the Critics' Choice Real TV
Yeah.
Awards. Jay and I were hosting, and we're like,
the Real Housewives of Orange
we
County are
said
here.
no.
Oh, sorry.
The joke was a lot of old faces, a lot of new faces here, and those are just on the Real Housewives of Orange County. So, there you go.
There you go.
We
Little
might have to
tease.
stop because I think she has to move on to her thing.
I
Does
do
she?
have to
It's
get to
1:10.
Access Hollywood.
She's
Did
gotta
I
go,
mention
go,
that?
Go.
She's gotta go,
She's
go,
gotta
go.
go.
All right,
She said
fine.
Yeah.
110 at the latest.
110 is the latest. Well, this is
I'll
it.
say my story next time you come back. You
Yeah.
come back and we'll do
Can
another
you do
story.
it quick?
Yeah,
I can do it
I will
super
do it
quick.
quickly. Let's take a
Do
quick
it
break
quick.
and we'll come right back with the
Bang it
last
out.
story. It's Carol Leifer. We'll be right back.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more to People Town.
For men, dealing with ED can be uncomfortable.
Yes.
Which is why HIMS provides access to a comfortable solution with an all online process and personalized treatment options. This is huge,
It's
right?
huge. HIMS is changing men's healthcare by providing you with access to affordable sexual health treatments from the comfort of your couch. They provide access to a range of doctor-trusted ED treatments like chewable tablets, Viagra, Cialis, and their generics for up to 95.
It's insane.
95% less.
It's so
The process is 100% online, so there's no need for an uncomfortable doctor visit. You just fill out an intake form on their site, and a medical provider will determine the right treatment option for you. If prescribed, your medication ships directly to you for how much? $0 for free.
Amazing.
No insurance is needed. One low price covers everything from treatments to ongoing care. With hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers, HIMS can help you find the ED option that works for you. What should they do, Rand?
Start your free online visit today at hims.com/DPT. That's HIMS.com/DPT for your personalized ED treatment options. Hims.com/DPT. The featured products include compounded products which are not approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality by the FDA. Prescription required. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information. Price varies based on product and production.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more to People Town.
Welcome back to the show. Carol Leifer has a book called
Last
How to Write
story.
a
Here we
Funny
go.
Speech. Here we go.
All
Jeff.
right. Taylorville's man. This is sent in by Jeremy Moss at Jeremy Moss. Taylorville's man arrested for reportedly assaulting, trying to take man's dentures. A Taylorsville
That's
man
personal.
arrested for reportedly assaulting his former roommate and trying to take the
Reaching into
roommate's
someone's
dentures.
mouth.
Police say, and I'm not going to tell you how old he is, but we can guess later.
Yeah,
John
74.
Dana Warden went into a residence he lived in 2 or 3 years ago.
Wait, he doesn't live with the
He
guy
doesn't live
anymore?
with the guy. Go back.
Yeah.
2 to 3 years ago.
How does he have access to this
Accused
place?
the man of having his dentures. Those are mine. Those are mine over there, right?
Yeah.
Wait, he says my old roommate has my dentures.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe he's
Like when he moved out, that's what
This
he
is
took?
the longest
Or I took
version
yours,
of,
you took mine?
This is the longer version of that scene from The Jerk. And I'm taking this, and 2 or 3 years later, I'm coming back, and I'm
Phone
taking
books
this.
and these.
Or it's
dentures.
like the scene with Something's Gotta Give where like Nicholson and like Diane Keaton like exchange their glasses because they realize they have each other's glasses and
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves has to sit and watch and be like, oh no, you're better for her. The man asked Warden to leave, but Warden said he wouldn't leave without his teeth.
He's the warden.
The man had his own dentures in his hand to clean them, and court documents say Warden grabbed the man by the arm.
What an opportune
Took-
time for the guy to come get him. They're out of his mouth. He knew his routine.
Timing. Comedy
He
is
did.
timing.
He's not going to be there at 8. He's not going to be in his mouth at 8.
How to write a funny speech. Timing. All right. Grab the man by his arm. When the police arrested Warden, they found a glass pipe with white residue in his jacket pocket.
Buddy.
Document
Okay,
said.
there you go.
Warden told police he forgot that was in his pocket. Not this isn't fine. Not I'm not smoking crack. I just forgot
If
that.
you're going to go
I
back to
forgot.
steal back your dentures, don't put the crack pipe in. You got to remove it first.
He was arrested on one
This
charge
is a cautionary
of
tale.
assault, one charge of robbery. I don't know. And
See, crack and dentures in the same store.
That's the new
That's
Rizzoli and
just-
Isles. Crack and
You know.
dentures.
Rosette, crack and dentures. All right, we'll get out of here on this.
Okay.
Get
Okay.
Carol to Access Hollywood. Here we go. How old is John Dana Warden?
I'm sticking with my 74.
74. Crack pipe in the pocket, visiting his old roommate.
68.
Saying they're his dentures, and his roommate needed dentures too.
Right.
Yeah.
68,
I feel
you're
like
saying?
I'm on The Price is Right. What did you say?
74.
I
I'm going to
said
say
60.
73.
All right.
Love
Hey,
it.
Okay.
Get your answers in. Go get Carol's book, How to Write a Funny
Yes.
Speech. This is what
Get
you
it.
do. Go see Dan live. Go see us live. Do what you got to do. And police said that John Dana Warden was 59.
Oh!
Too young for dentures
Too
in
young
my
for
book.
dentures.
Well,
but
I
hey, the
think
crack
the crack,
had something
yeah,
to do
that's-
with it.
that's a
All
little-
right.
it's a little
The
bit of
great
coming and
Carol
going.
Leifer, one of the greatest writers
Thank you
and
for doing the
comedians
show.
and
Thank you, guys.
authors
Thank
on
you.
our
So
show.
great.
And oh shit, we got to get back to work.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more to People Town.